Hello everyone, how are we all doing? It is the early hours of Sunday the 1st of June, and as per usual, I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing just fine, thank you. I've got a burp. You know when you got a burp brewing and you're not sure whether you should continue talking because you can feel it coming? There it is. So yes, how's work been? Because that's that's all I'm up to these days. It's busy, but it's good. At university, things are kind of wrapping up now. All of the students have finished. Are they following me? No, they're not. They just got really loud voices. This is the problem. Saturday night, Sunday morning, there are drunk people around, which is frustrating. Where was I? Yes. No, university's wrapping up now. All of the students have finished, and my contract at university is due to end on the 4th of July. So we're kind of in the closing stages now, and that's quite worrying, actually, because I need to find something to do afterwards. The thing is, since I've started there, the position as of next academic year is a permanent post, 9 to 5, 5 days a week. And if I want that, then I have to reapply for it when my contract ends on the 4th of July. Which I don't really want to do. I've done 3 years of study at that place, plus a year working there, and it's been a great year. It's been a great 4 years, but it's been a great year working there, getting a bit of insight and some experience. But I'm ready to do other things now. This is the thing, you see. I annoyingly don't like being in one place for too long at any one time, really. I like to change. I like a bit of change to keep things fresh, but at the same time I hate change as well, so I'm in a bit of a predicament. But I feel like I want to use what I've learned and go somewhere else, so I need to do some research and work it out. At the start of the year I was talking with a fella who is a pyrotechnician, and unfortunately that seems to have fallen through. I can't get any contact with him or anything like that, which is really horrible, because that was a really good kind of way in to the sort of industry I want to work in, and not promises as such, but offers were made that unfortunately didn't fruition, I don't know, that didn't surface. Hey kitty cat. Hi. Oh. Which is a real shame. So I need to look into some stuff that I want to do when I finish. Fortunately, my current manager at the university, he also does work on a couple of TV shows in the evening sometimes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to him and see if he can get me in somewhere or put me in touch with someone, something like that. I'm also talking to small like music venues and things like that, again seeing if I can get in and shadow some people, because that's what I need to do, really. It's a tough old industry to just kind of get into without knowing someone, so I need to use what I've got. So that's that, pretty much. Yeah, let me just check how much time we've got. Lovely. While I was at uni on Friday, you're not really going to be able to see this, but I've let me turn you around a minute. You can't really see, I don't think, but on this finger just here, if I can get it in the thing, there we are. Right, that's I got a friction burn, a real bad friction burn on that finger, and that's been terrible because I suffer from the human condition where if you've got a bit of loose skin, like especially in your mouth, you just kind of have to pick at it to make it all smooth and flat again, and I'm especially bad in my mouth. But that, right, that's there, I've sort of been chewing on it, which I know sounds really grim, but that's what I've been doing. I've been good. I haven't really done a lot of it tonight, but it's been a real pain tonight working at the bar. I got some JD honey in it. Oh my god, that thing stung like a expletive. Oh. The only thing that could have been worse was if it was Sambuca, which it wasn't, thankfully. How's stuff going at the bar? Again, all great, having a great time, really enjoying it. Really busy period coming up because I'm sure you know the World Cup is happening, whatever that is. So lots of busy times lie ahead there for us to look forward to, I suppose. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting experience. And also tonight I was working, I got myself a glow stick. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you in the next clip because this one's run out pretty much. To celebrate a good job well done, we all had a quick drink after work tonight. I had a double JD Coke and it went straight to my head. It really did. But you know, I haven't really eaten today, or you know, yesterday, whatever. So that probably had something to do with it. And I don't think I've had alcohol for a while. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. But I just kind of I guess I drank it kind of quick as well. But I drank it and then stood up and was like, woo. You know, I shouldn't really feel like this after one double JD Coke, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much that. Where else are we in life? Don't know. Having a walk home tonight to kind of do some chatter, I guess, because as I said in the previous vlog, we don't really get a lot of time to do that anymore. You know, I'm very busy working wise, and I pre-record a lot of the LPs that go up, so there's a bit of a reduced interaction in that sense. So you know, just kind of having a bit of a chat, really. Trying to keep you updated on how things are going. So after a big long silence where I was filming but not saying anything, which I've probably cut out, I'm gonna end this clip here for now. I might see you a bit later on in my journey home after I've had time to think. If I don't, I'll see you on the next day that I do some vlogging. So, bye! Or, see you in a moment. Auf Wiedersehen. Adios. Sayonara. Au revoir. Bye. I hate doing outros for different days of a vlog because it just is terrible. There isn't a good way to do it, really. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about memories, as I'm sure people who've been watching these vlogs for some time will know. I'm fond of my memories and I attach a great deal of importance to them and to things that remind me of those memories. and I was just walking along here, and there was a smell. I know what you're thinking. It came from a flower, a particular plant. I was just walking past it, and I kind of breathed in through my nose, and then I smelled this smell that came from whatever plant this was, and I was immediately taken to a place called Menorca, where we as a family have been on holiday many times, to a specific place, because we've got friends who own an apartment in this complex, and I was just instantly taken back there, and it's such a lovely place. It's amazing. Like, the apartment that we stay in, the back garden, there's a tiny little back garden, and it overlooks this huge bay. You know, you've got the Mediterranean Sea right there in your back garden, and it's quite high up as well, this apartment, so you're kind of looking down over it, and you can kind of walk up to this dry stone wall and sit on it. You know, on the side of the apartment it's all very well kept, nice lawn and all that, and then on the other side it's wild grass and a lot less kept, and it's just really fascinating divide, this wall. Then you've got this unkept grass, uneven terrain, and then like this cliff drop down to the Mediterranean Sea, and you can kind of sit on this wall and look out over it, and you've got all these huge ships that go past every now and then, little boats going past and stuff, then these huge ships that have got like loads of shipping crates on them, they're moving cargo around, or you know, it's a passenger cruise liner or something ferrying people around, and it's so lovely there. The weather's always really great, apart from one time which I might get onto. It's just amazing. There's so much attached to that place for me, and I just smelt that smell and was instantly taken there, and it's one of the most beautiful places. I love it there. It's great. Even that, like, Jay, I can't remember how it kind of surfaced. Jay asked me once, I think, because I mean, if I could go anywhere in the world, where would I go? And I said Menorca. And he laughs at me and he takes the mick of me a bit, because it's like, you could have anywhere in the world and you pick there. That's ridiculous, but it's not. You know, yes, okay, you know, you could go to New York, or you could go to, I don't know, like the pyramids, Chichen Itza, whatever, for your big sightseeing thing, the Great Wall of China. You know, yeah, fine, you can go to one of those big places, but that's not what it is for me. If I can go anywhere in the world, I want to go somewhere that I know is going to be amazing and a really great place for me to be in, and that's exactly what Menorca is. It's a really amazing place. There's so much there, because we've been there so many times to this same spot. There are so many memories that I have of it, and thinking about them just makes me so happy. We've got loads of photos as well, and when I flick through these photos, it's a really great thing, you know. I'll try and rattle off a few of these things that have gone on there. I mean, I said about the weather being terrible. How's time? Time's good. I remember just saying about how the weather's great. One time when it was terrible, the apartment's kind of like in an apartment complex, so it's a kind of walled-in community, and there's, I don't know, like there's a couple of buildings and there's a couple of apartments in each building, so you know, it's kind of a community thing. And we made it to the entrance of this complex, and it was in the evening, so it was quite dark. And then all of a sudden, you just hear this rumble of thunder, of course succeeding the flash of lightning. This huge rumble of thunder. It was like, oh my god, this is gonna like it must have been right overhead, because like, I was quite young, but it made me jump so much. I remember my legs were shaking. There aren't many times when I've felt like I can't stand when I haven't been intoxicated. And you know, obviously I was very young. This time I was sober, obviously, and my legs were shaking so much. And we kind of ran from the entrance to the apartment, which isn't a great deal of distance, to be fair, but we ran there because we didn't want to get caught out. And there's a swimming pool in the middle of this complex, and La Gardina, it's called, something like that. There's a swimming pool in the middle, and of course, you know, health and safety, you have to have the lights on in the swimming pool and stuff like that. And we was running down this path, which is a good distance away from the swimming pool, so don't worry. But we was running along this path, and then all of a sudden, like, there's this another rumble of thunder, flash of lightning, all the lights in the pool go out. Whoa! Things are scary now. And we get into the apartment, and it just throws it down with rain, like proper freaking monsoon, right? And we're like, oh my god, we try to turn the lights on, nothing, power cut as well. I remember being really scared, but looking back on it, it's really cool and makes me happy. I mean, there are freaking loads of stories that I could tell you. Like, again, if I just take you back to that like dry stone wall that separates the apartment complex from like the Mediterranean Sea. I remember sitting on that wall one night, and I'd kind of pestered my mum and dad to buy me like this laser pen from one of the like street vendors who target tourists. You know, they kind of go, oh, look at all of my amazing merchandise, which I will sell you for exorbitant prices. That wasn't my Spanish accent, by the way, because that's where Menorca is, sort of just off the coast of Spain. So I bought this laser pen. It had a couple of different attachments on the top that you could like use. Like, obviously, if you shone the laser pen, it would just be a dot, or you can change the tip of it, put a different tip on, you shine it, and it's, you know, something else. It's a smiley face. And I remember, like, I was flicking, like, going through these tips. It was in the evening. It was dark. I was sat on this wall, and with the laser pen kind of pointing it at things and going, oh, this is an interesting tip. And I put one tip on and I kind of shone it down, and it was a spider. And I remember kind of like turning it off again almost instinctively, because I'm not a big fan of spiders. But then I turned it back on again and found it really, really interesting. And then I was running it along the wall, so I'm sat on the wall like that, kind of shining it at the wall, and I was kind of running it up the sides of the wall. Well, just like running it along the wall, so as it was getting further away from me, it was getting bigger and more like warped. And I noticed in the distance, it wasn't too far away, but kind of in the distance, there was this white house. You know, because obviously out there all the buildings are white to keep them cooler, because that's the way that science works. White reflects light and therefore heat, black absorbs light and therefore heat, which is why I always cook in summer, because the majority of my wardrobe is black. But there was this white house, and I kind of saw it there, and I thought, I wonder. So I was kind of chasing this spider laser pointer pen along this unkept field on the other side of the wall, straight along, and then up the side of the house. And I remember being amazed. I thought, wow, that shines really far. And of course, on the house, the spider was colossal. And I just remember thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. And then, like, pretty much every night for like about 15 minutes, I would kind of sit on this wall, kind of tracing the spider up to the house and back. And I mean, 15 minutes don't sound like a long time, but if you think about what I'm doing, just that takes a couple of seconds, a minute at most, to kind of trace the spider up the wall, go, wow, and bring it back. I spent chunks of like an amount of time of my night doing that, because it just made me happy. There's a bar there who was owned by a fellow called Jose, of course, and He was really amazing bar. He was such a friend. It still is. I think he's still alive. He's such a friendly guy, such an amazing man, and he taught me how to play pool and darts. I think he began to teach me pontoon as well at one point. Yeah, funny enough, actually, he might have had a gambling thing. No, he was a great guy, and he was teaching me how to play all these games and stuff, because he had a pool table there, and I remember being really fixated by it, and he would pay for games to try and teach me how to play, which was amazing. And the same sort of thing for darts as well. He'd kind of give me, like, because I was how like darts tends to work in pubs and bars and stuff is you give a deposit over, and then they give you a set of darts, and then you give the darts back, and they give you your money back. So he would just kind of get the box of darts out from behind the bar, and he'd kind of like go, right, this is how you play darts, like that, and that's a really good thing as well. Like I love a game of pool, and I think to myself now, never thought about it before, but if I'd never sort of met Jose, would I enjoy pool as much as I do? It's interesting, you know. And he had these really great ice creams on sale as well, which they're kind of like the Kinder Surprise of the ice cream world. There's like these little ice creams, and they came inside these plastic models, these quite reasonably big plastic models, and they were shaped as different animals, and I can only remember one of them, and it was a penguin called Punky the penguin, something like that. I think you can buy them, like I think they're quite widely available in sort of touristy places. I can't remember what the other animals were, but I remember he sold them, and I quite liked those. And the chips, oh my god, the chips at that place were amazing, with loads of ketchup on them, not loads, but with ketchup on them as well. Delicious. I find that chips on holiday taste a lot different to chips here. Just one of those things. Mind you, I also find chocolate tastes different at certain times of the year as well. Easter chocolate tends to taste a lot better than Christmas chocolate sometimes. Sometimes it's the other way around. But I don't know if that's just me that thinks that. So many memories. Really does make me happy. What's the time? 2 minutes. Can I rattle off another story in 2 minutes? I'm not going to risk it. Let's start a new video clip. Look at me go! I'm like freaking like Jack and Nori tonight. I'm only going to tell you one more. There's this harbour that's near to the apartment complex. The way it kind of goes, you have the apartment complex, just down the road is Jose's, and then a little bit further down the road there's a path that leads down into this really, really pretty harbour. It's a really great place. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's so beautiful down there. There are so many restaurants and stuff all along there. Like, you could go there for like a week's holiday, maybe even 2 weeks, and you still wouldn't be able to eat in every single restaurant along there. There are so many there, and it's so varied, and it's lovely. It really is. I love it there. And there was this one time where me, my mum, my dad and my sister, we had gone out to Menorca with some of our extended family, and we was going out for dinner one night at one of these restaurants in the harbour, and I was kind of lagging behind a little bit. Everyone else was walking in front, I was kind of walking behind a little bit. Again, still quite young, I was walking behind a little bit, and like every so often they have these slipways that lead straight down into the water, you know, so that boats can get in and out. And I saw one of these slipways, and I kind of started walking along it. So this is kind of hard to illustrate. So if you look ahead here, where the road is kind of coming in, just imagine that this is the slipway where you've got the giveaway lines and stuff. That's the water. So then we kind of get to like up here, this is like the top of the slipway, and then you kind of have the water's edge down like by the giveaway lines. So I was kind of like walking along here, and I slipped and slid down towards the water, and like I got my like my legs were really wet. Like the entirety of my legs up to my torso were wet. Fortunately, again, I was wearing black clothes, so it didn't show up. But I remember thinking to myself at the time, oh my god, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I've got my clothes wet. I've got them wet. Oh no, I'm going to get in so much trouble. So I didn't tell anyone that that it happened. I just kind of picked myself up, dust myself off, and ran to catch up, and no one was any the wiser. And then we sat down for this meal in this restaurant. There I was with my really wet legs, and we had this fantastic meal. I can't remember what the meal was now, but we had this fantastic meal. It was really delicious, overlooking the harbour, all the lights lit up, you know, music was playing, the food was delicious. It was amazing. All the time I was sat there with really wet legs thinking to myself, oh my god, 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 I'm going to get in so much trouble if I get found out. Shh, nothing's different. Why are you playing music and interrupting my story? So there we are, we had this great meal, and then it came time to leave. So I remember getting up and kind of thinking to myself, I sat through this meal with really wet legs. And I remember patting the cushion that I'd been sitting on the chair. That was so wet. And do you know what? I never did tell my parents. So, Mum, Dad, if you're watching, I was quite young at the time, which I think I said. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? You just kind of remember all these silly little things. I bought a keyring there once. It was this, I loved this keyring so much. It was a skeleton that I bought there. So quite like, I don't know, maybe about that big, which you probably can't see because there's no light. Let me get you some light. Well, we're talking about this, Mum and Dad. Sorry, I'm walking in the middle of the road. But it was about that big, maybe. And so it was quite a big, it wasn't a practical keyring, it's quite a big keyring. But it was a skeleton, and like where the torso was, kind of like from like about here down to here. It was a spring, like a coil, a slinky kind of thing. And I loved that keyring so much. It was this it was like silver. Not made of silver, just silver coloured. It was made of plastic. And then the coil was like this fluorescent yellowy greeny colour. And I loved it, it was great. And I don't even know why, I just really liked it. And that, I got that while I was on holiday in Menorca once. And kept it for a good number of years afterwards. And then, unfortunately, the coil snapped. And he was of no use to me anymore. I remember keeping like the top half for a while because the key ring was kind of attached to the head by a little chain. So I kept the top half for a little while, but then got rid of it. So many like amazing memories. I bought there's like a little corner shop near to the apartment complex, and I went in there and like Pokemon was a really big thing at the time, so I bought this Pokeball, this like small little Pokeball, and inside there was like a bunch of sweets and then a little Pokemon model, and I think it was a second gen Pokemon, and I'm not really good with Pokemon beyond the first generation. I think it was Heracross that was in there. It's like this little blue Pokemon that looks a bit like a stag beetle, almost. It's kind of like a beetle up to its head, and it's got this big kind of spike protruding out of its nose. Stag beetle's the best kind of comparison I can make. But I bought that there, and this was the best thing ever when I was younger. And all that from a single smell. And there's more. There's so much more about it. My mum's told me the story of the time when I was really young and we went on holiday there with my nan and granddad. And what is it? How does it go? I can't remember. basically, I think I was young and I was like playing with like inflatables in the pool, and this other woman who don't know had a go at me. But when I was like really young and playing my like inflatables and lilos and stuff in the pool, she had a go at me. So I went and told my nan, and she must have said something like, "Oh, don't listen to her. She's a mean old lady." And next time I saw her, I said, "My nan said you're a mean old lady." It landed my nan in so much trouble. It's a really great place. I love it. My fondest memory is going out into like the back garden where there was this wall. There's also this like there was like little sort of. Oh, there's that smell again. That's so good. Well, thank you for keeping me company anyway on my walk home this early Sunday morning. It's been great talking about Menorca, even if the end bit did get cut off. That's so frustrating. But you know what, I feel good. Normally I feel a bit kind of pessimistic on the walks home just because you're kind of left with your own thoughts and stuff, but I'm feeling good. And also the sun's beginning to rise. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Hello friends, how are we all? Welcome to, it's the 4th of June today, it's a Wednesday, and I hope everyone is doing just alright as per usual. It's been a while, it's been a while. Yeah, no, it has been a while. And I thought, hey, it feels like a while since I've also done a vlog outside, in daylight. So, I thought we'd do something like that. I'm currently on my way into uni, heading off to work. How's things been? Things have all been pretty good. Jay is staying over this week because his car's packed in. So because of where he works and where he lives, he's just staying at ours for a week. So it's easier for him to get into and out of work, basically. But other than that, there's not a lot going on. It's just another normal week. I've got a technical rehearsal tomorrow night for a performance on Friday night, so things can get a little bit busy. I'll go back to teaching on the Saturday, and then I'm working all of Saturday night as well. So it's a bit of a busy end to a not so busy week, if that's a sentence that can make sense. And thinking about it whilst it's on my mind, the World Cup is fast approaching, and ordinarily I am not bothered because I'm not really into football. I don't really follow it. I kind of know what it is and where it is, and that's about it. And the only reason I really know where it is because I saw a t-shirt with Brasil written on it, B-R-A-S-I-L, and because of the way it was folded, the R was covered up, so it looked like the World Cup was being held in Basel. Which is, it's quite funny to imagine that it's being held in a herb garden. But it's even funnier when, of course, you remember that here in the UK we have a place called Basildon, and that would be a somewhat ridiculous place to hold the World Cup. But anyway, the reason why that's important is because this year, which wasn't the case in any other previous years, I work at a bar, which will fill up very much, because that's what happens. People go out to drink to watch the World Cup. So people are going to be filling up the bar whilst they're watching the World Cup, and I am going to be working like a horse. All of us are, because I was supposed to be going away that weekend of the first England game, which is on the 14th of June. I was supposed to be going away from the 13th to the 15th, and when I asked my manager if I could have it off, he said, no, I can't let you have it off, because that is England's first game. It's late at night, it starts at 11 in the evening here, local time, so it's going to be busy, and the other England games are probably going to be pretty busy as well, but not a lot can be done. I had a driving lesson yesterday which went really well, so that's all good. Beginning to feel confident for the test, for my next test, which will hopefully be the one, and if it is, that'll be amazing. So fingers crossed. I'll see you a bit later on, or tomorrow, I guess, whenever the mood picks me up. I may even see you a bit later on today, because depending what I end up doing at work, we've got to clear out the costume cupboard. And I started it on Friday, but I'm nowhere near finished, so if I'm going to be working on that, then I might take you up there with me, just so there's a little bit of chatter whilst I'm working, just to stop me going mental. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it, I think. Yeah, that'll be it for now, so I'll see you all a bit later. So it's Wednesday the 5th, and here I am at work. I'm currently in the prop room, and while I was fiddling around with all these today, putting things away and stuff like that, came across this, which is, of course, a clock. But on the back, it just looks quite upset, like it's just seen something that it wishes it hadn't. Very odd. Anyway, I'm waiting for a group to arrive, because I'm supposed to be doing a technical rehearsal with them today. They were due here about 5 minutes ago, which it's not important. Yes, it is. Should always be on time. Evening, it is Friday, whatever the hell it is, and I am on my way home. The conclusion of another week is upon us. It's been a busy week, I'm very tired, but it's not going to get any easier now. The shows that I did tonight were very good. They all went off pretty well, if I do say so myself. As you kind of hopefully saw, the I think that was the tech run that you've hopefully seen clips from. The real run tonight went pretty good, which is great. But yeah, tomorrow is when it all kicks off again, because I'm back to teaching, which means 8 until 5 working, and unfortunately Ash, who I used to work alongside, Ash from the server of course, Ash, who I used to work alongside, doesn't work there anymore, so it's just me and one other guy trying to sort everything out. You know, suddenly the power of 2 is quite limited when compared to the substantial power of 3, so we'll have to see how we do, both in the clear up and the tidy up. And then I have an hour between 5 and 6 to get from that teaching over to the bar for a good old night of working there. Which is, you know, it's going to be good. I enjoy working there an awful lot. I enjoy bar work. It's really good fun. You know, it's a great atmosphere. We all get along so well. They're just great people to be around. Which really helps, you know, because it can be a bit of a bad job, you know, when you get the people who give you grief. Suddenly it can turn into a pretty rubbish job. But I also bear in mind as well, it's really terrible working hours. You know, no one's around when you're around. You know, like, think of it, 6 until 2. That's like 8 hours. You know, and then people keep saying, "Oh, should we go out Saturday night?" I can't, I'm working. So, you know, it's irregular hours, but ultimately it's always a really good atmosphere in there, and the people that you work with tend to carry you through a lot of things, and God knows the guys who work there, they pick me up, because it's fair to say I'm knackered when I walk through that door, and probably for the first 20 minutes of my shift, and then you know, you just kind of pick up this sort of energy from everyone. Everyone's sort of feeling good, and then all of a sudden you're just like, bling, perked up, and off you go, which is lovely. Anyway, I'm going to see you later. The vlog's going to end here, and I'll see you maybe in a few days or something. Woo. Do you know what? Look, I've got shorts on. Look at that. That's pretty good. Well, they were trousers, but these are my Coca-Cola trousers left over from the Olympics. 2 years ago that was. That was 2 years ago. And these trousers still fit. To be fair, they were huge on me, and they still are. Like, even with a belt, these are still far too big. And I even got my size. They must have given me American size or something. But yeah, these trousers had detachable bottoms. So I was a bit warm earlier, so I turned them into shorts. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.